Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the second half of the second wave of TMNT reaction figures from Super 7. So I have a previous video on just Baxter and Master Splinter because I was able to get them a little bit earlier, but I was finally able to procure the rest of the wave, so we're definitely going to be taking a look. First things first, I love the artwork. These cards are beautiful. I honestly struggle with opening these because the artwork is so beautiful. I definitely keep the cards, but I definitely have to open the figures. But I just absolutely love the artwork on these cards. So first we have Undercover Don. Now he comes with a bow, and I understand, you know, that's his weapon, and they've already done the bow and included it with several other figures. But it would have been nice if they tried to include some of the weapons that the original came with. So if you're not familiar with Undercover Don, there was a series back in the original toy line of, I don't know if they were all undercover turtles, but they were like disguise turtles where they all kind of had a random disguise. You can see there's an astronaut Raph, there's also a samurai Leo, and then like a surfer Mikey, and those two are actually in the next wave. And they were some of the kind of earliest variants of the turtles, and definitely some of the earliest figures that I had, and I absolutely loved them. So when I saw they were doing them in the reaction line, I knew I had to pick them up. Now, the original figure came with like a small briefcase, and I think like with a revolver looking gun that had kind of like a flag on the end that said bang, kind of like something the Joker would have or something like that. And I understand, you know, to keep costs down, they can't trick them out with all their accessories, but it would have been neat to give him maybe just the gun or maybe just the briefcase or something. The original figure also had a like human mask that you could clip around the head so he could be in disguise. And I didn't necessarily need that. I love him in the trench coat, but just something more than just the bow would have been nice. But it is what it is. You get the little bio card up here. Now, it turns out I just realized now that I have the entire second wave, I had the entire first wave with the exception of Shredder. And it's because I'm not a huge fan of the original toy Shredder, and that's what this is modeled after. And the reaction figure looks a little too wide to me, but I guess for completionist's sake, I'll have to pick him up at some point, maybe if I can find him on clearance or something, because I can't he's the only figure I don't have out of the first two waves, so I'll have to complete that at some point. But again, beautiful artwork. Let's take a look at April. I love the artwork here. The sculpt on the head doesn't look as good. I really like the artwork here on the card, though. And then I like how it says weapon camcorder. She comes with a camcorder, which I applaud them. Wouldn't really call it a weapon, but, you know, that's fine. And then you have your bio card, and again, the backs of these are pretty much the same, except for the little bio up at the top. Absolutely love Space Cadet Raph. I don't think this is exactly what the original toy looked like, because I remember the chest being very different. He had a little port for like a hose that would come out and connect to a gun that he had. Now, he has absolutely no accessories here. His weapon is his ninja spacesuit. So, okay. And then last but not least, we have Krang, whose weapon is his mechanical body. And again, look at that artwork. That's just fantastic. It looks a little weird. We'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, overall, the packaging is perfect. I love it. The artwork is beautiful. And it kind of pains me to do it, but let's go ahead, let's open these, and let's take a closer look. So here they are out of the packaging. We'll start over here with Krang. I think they did a pretty good job with him. He's got his tentacles up here in the air. He's got the giant goofy hands that he had in the front. The legs can move. So legs can go pretty far back and come pretty far forward. And then the hands, I would assume, can go pretty much all the way around, except for where they hit into this kind of molded wire right there. Now, you can open this up. The bubble does have a hinge, which is kind of neat. But if you can't remove him, I don't really need the bubble to move. And because it can move, it kind of, like when you move it around, it kind of makes a noise of it rattling around, which is kind of a bummer. So I kind of appreciate that they made it so it can move. But at the same time, I feel like if you're going to make it open, I would like to be able to unpeg him. I would like to be able to kind of sit him somewhere and then have the body and then just kind of peg him on top and then flip that closed. So not a huge deal breaker or anything. And for the most part, he looks good. I also would have really appreciated if he came with that kind of weird plunger gun that he comes with, just because it's kind of iconic to this figure. And it would have been nice to give him some kind of accessory. But I think, you know, between the paint and the probably inclusion of the clear plastic, you know, to keep costs down, that's why he doesn't have an accessory. But I would have liked just at least the plunger gun would have been nice. Kind of in the similar vein with no accessories, we have Space Cadet Raft. Now, he looks fantastic. He's a little bit heftier than most. He's got a lot of paint applications, so I'm assuming that's the reason why no accessories were included. But again, I would have loved that kind of... He's got a very kind of distinctive gun design that he comes with. I don't expect the cord to plug into the spacesuit, but just having the gun itself would have been neat. But like I said, he does have a ton of paint applications, and he looks pretty good. He has the head swivel from side to side, and then the arm movement, and then the leg movement, as most of these have. So overall, looks really cool. Happy to see them doing the disguises for the turtles in this line. Really, really fun. I don't know if they'll ever get to them in the Ultimates. I'd love them to, because then they could really trick them out. But here's April. I think she's okay. I think the head sculpt... Can I get this to focus? Do you want to focus for me? There we go. It's okay. It's not the best. I feel like they could have done a little better, but it's not bad. The rest of the body, I think, is fine. You know, just looks like April. She does come with a camcorder, which she can hold very simply. Very easy. Just has a little peg. It's got some nice detail on this side, so I like that. Again, standard articulation. Head can move side to side. Arm movement. Leg movement. Now, she also comes with a super tiny little throwing star. Not 100% sure why she does, but she does. Never really seen her use one on the show, but okay. But yeah, overall, she's definitely the most simplistic of the bunch, but she looks good, and I like the camcorder. I think they did a nice job with that. Probably my favorite out of these four is Don. I just think they did such a great job with the fedora, and just kind of like, I mean, I know they all kind of have the same expression, but for some reason in this outfit it really works for Don. I just think he's got a really great expression here. Plus they wore the trench coats all the time on the show for disguise, so I think that works. Again, I think the bow is kind of lame. You know, it's just the standard accessory. They also gave this to Master Splinter as a walking stick, which I think was also kind of a lame, you know, reuse, because his walking stick is definitely very different than a bow. But again, I understand, you know, the need to cut costs and keep things at certain price points. But I would have loved for him to have some kind of specific accessory to this character or to this figure from back in the day, like the revolver or the suitcase or something. I mean, when you put the bow in this hand, he doesn't even really hold it. It just falls all the way out. It kind of fits in this one a little bit more snug, so it's not as big of a deal. But I don't know. Plus, just like him holding this, it just doesn't look right. It doesn't feel like it fits. He should have his disguise accessories, so that's a bit of a bummer. But like I said, for the most part, I love him. I love the design of him. Like, the figure itself looks great. I think they did a great job with the figure. Just wish they would have done a little bit better with the accessories. Yeah, so overall, I think these four are pretty solid. I'm going to just put this off to the side. I think these four are pretty solid. I love the disguise turtles. I would have loved Raph to have his gun, but I understand. He looks great. Paint applications are great. Krang's not bad. I think it's interesting that they had the like clear dome hinge back. I do appreciate it, but I would have liked it if he could have unpegged so you could bring Krang out of it and load him in and out, which would have been fun. So very minor complaints, but like I said, for the most part, I do enjoy this line. I just kind of usually wait for sales and things, try to get them in the area of like $10 to $12 is usually what I like to pay for these. But I think they're great. I think they do a nice job. Very nice paint applications, designs very nice. And for the most part, the accessories are usually pretty good. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.